1.5 years ago, I was a complete floppy. So let me tell you a story. It was March 2024, and I just got my results from my simulation exam. As I told you in previous videos, I failed badly, and I failed badly at math. And the first class after that, the teacher comes in class. She's like a lady, her 50s or something like that, and she has a rant. She tells us that if we're gonna keep doing that, we're gonna be a failure, we're gonna work on construction sites, and we're gonna be losers. We're gonna be the lowest people in the society. Now, she used to do this a lot, but I wasn't the target in most of her rants. But in this specific one, I felt that emotion. I sat there with my head on the table, and I imagined myself working and being 70 years old, being on a tractor, working construction sites. I don't think I was thinking at AI at that point. And yeah, I saw that future, that dark future with me being unhappy and feeling like a failure. And it wasn't just because in that moment I had that bad grade, I failed that simulation exam, but because the whole year I didn't do my homeworks because I had other stuff to do. I didn't do anything. I wasn't paying attention at anything. I was, just a dreaming guy, sleeping during the classes, having fun, but not the type of fun that is good, type of fun that is bad. And her rant really stuck with me. I even got the lowest grade ever at math in that moment, and it was shit. That was the moment when everything changed for me. I made some tweaks here and there, and finally, the last semester, I got a 4.0 GPA while studying only 2 hours every single morning, and it was game changing for me. I went from that completely loser to being a confident and competent guy. I was proud of myself. I was happy with my achievement. I felt such a big joy in my heart. My energy was changed, my family was so happy for me, my friends as well. I even got a cake to celebrate that moment, and I'm telling you, it's game changing and it's worth it. It's worth the sacrifices, it's worth the effort, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did in this video. Now, before that, if you want to become a founding member in my community, first in the description, you're gonna get access to courses, and the first 7 people will get access to accountability with me. We're gonna talk, we're gonna have chats, and I'm gonna make sure, me and the other guys in the group, that you're gonna achieve your goals, you're gonna be a game changer, and you're gonna be the perfect student. You're gonna feel proud of yourself after achieving your goals, and you're gonna get out of this rut. So first in the description, check out my community there. First 7 members are gonna be founding members, and you're gonna get access to all these benefits. First in the description. I'll see you inside. So the first lesson I got from my experience is that you need to get rid of the schoolwork first thing in the morning. And you may say, oh no, I just wake up at like 7 with 1 hour before school, or like 12 if you're in college, and I'm gonna do my homeworks when I have time between classes and before I'm going to bed, or I'll stay late. I'm telling you, that's completely bullshit. That's not gonna work. If you're just like me, and if you watch these videos, chances are you're like me, you don't have time for that, because it's not fun. It's not worth taking the time to do that during the day when everyone's outside, when you have clubs, activities, you want to do stuff, alright? You want to develop your social skills, you want to develop your skills, you want to become better at making progress in other areas of your life. So making sure that you're gonna do your schoolwork first thing in the morning, where there are no distractions, where there's no people to bother you, no friends, no activities to go, where you put your phone in the next room because you don't want to scroll, you don't want to check your WhatsApp, you don't want to do any of this bullshit because it's gonna make your brain stupid. You don't want to do that. You just want to make sure that you're gonna have your laptop or your papers in front of you, or your notebook, and you're just gonna work on the stuff that you need to do. That's it. No eating, no any distraction. I want you to maybe take a shower, as I did first thing in the morning, to get rid of the grogginess and the floppiness and everything that you have. So I want you to take a shower, get directly to work. I don't want you to first thing in the morning after you take a shower to not know what to do. I want you to, in the evening before the night, I want you to make a list with what you need to learn the next day. Maybe even prepare your past papers the night before, or even put your notebooks on the table, or leave your laptop open with a window where you need to work. I want you to just open the laptop or open the notebook and know exactly what you need to do. You're gonna be more efficient, and I'm telling you guys, if you follow this strategy, I promise you, 2-3 hours a day, you're gonna get rid of your old schoolwork. It's gonna be a lot easier for you to achieve the thing that you want, the 4.0 GPA, and then during the day, you're gonna have time to do other activities that you want to do as well. So I'm looking into your eyes right now. First thing in the morning, no distraction. Prepare your task the night before so you can be in the flow, you can be in the momentum next morning when you're gonna wake up and take a shower, drink some water, maybe work directly on your task. The most important thing that you want to achieve, the 4.0 GPA, finishing your schoolwork is going to be a major obstacle that you kill from your side. If you want the exact protocols I used every single day when I got a 4.0 GPA, if you want access to me, then first in the description, first 7 founding members will get access to me, and we're gonna have accountability chats and all that stuff. Plus, you're gonna get, my protocols, my strategies in modules around school. Check first in the description. I'll see you inside. The next thing that I want you to do is only and only focus on the essential things. And I promise you, I don't think anyone speaks about this really. I never heard anyone talking about essential things. Yeah, maybe you've read the book Essentialist, maybe I've done that too, but people don't take it seriously. But I'm telling you, when you take this seriously, everything's gonna change. You're gonna have more time, the noise, the distraction is gonna be away, and you're gonna have time to focus on what you need to focus. Now, when it comes to school, teachers, and efficiency in class, there's gonna be patterns. Every single teacher, every single professor is doing this class probably for like 10, 20 years, or even like 3-4 years. They have a specific coursework that they work on every semester. There's maybe a bit tweaks here and there, but nothing changes, nothing major changes. A nice thing about this is that there's gonna be patterns, and if you learn those patterns, you can focus on the things that are really gonna affect your grades. For example, some professors, maybe even from your syllabus, you can see they're gonna focus on you raising your hand, you interacting with them, making sure you're paying attention. Some may want you to do the readings, some may want you to be in class, some may want you to, I don't know, do some past papers every here and then, do the papers they give you. Every single professor is going to have a few things that they deem as necessary, as important, and they're going to tell you this even in the first class. You're going to know exactly, if you're paying attention obviously and you're taking notes, they're going to focus on a few major things that they want from you. And I'm not sure if you heard about the rule 80-20 rule, which means 20% of your actions will bring you 80% of your results. Now this is so true. Let me tell you a story. Last semester I had this history class, and we had a reading to do almost each class. And at first I didn't have the strategy, I didn't know what to expect, but after the first 2-3 quizzes, after every reading we would get a quiz, I kind of seen a pattern with the questions, and I knew what to expect. And it was so easy after that. I knew what he wanted from the text. He wanted some dates, he wanted some major events, and he wanted to highlight a few things. And all the quizzes were almost the same. Of course, different questions and different sources, but like the strategy behind the questions were the same. And I even saw my colleagues come with like big papers, big notes, whatever. I don't know what they did, really. I don't know, don't ask me. I just did that in 20 minutes before class, early in the morning, and it worked. I'm not sure, maybe I got a best score in that class. The teacher and I had like a good relationship. I used to respond a lot, raise my hand, and talk about the subject because I really find the class fun. That was a plus. But yeah, I'm telling you, if you identify these patterns, your life is going to be a lot more easier, especially with classes that are very, very fun. Now, the third step that I did to get a 4.0 GPA without being a nerd was that I set my goals publicly. Now, maybe you heard this story in another video, but I told my friends before the semester started, I told them that, hey guys, look, this semester I'm going to get a 4.0 GPA. Tell me what you've done. Tell me how should I do it. And I even wrote it on my table. I had like big goal 4.0 GPA, and I did it. Now, when you set goals publicly, you're not going to have the incentive to change your mind, to chicken out, to say like that in a nice way. For example, that moment you're really motivated, like for me was that way because my friends got a 4.0 and I wanted that too, and I was like, let's go boys, if they did it, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna ask them what they did so I can inspire from them. But if I didn't do that publicly, maybe a week after I saw how hard it was to wake up early and to do the first thing in the morning stuff, maybe I would have given up. But because I set my goals publicly, because I let my friends know that I want to achieve that, I even wrote it on here, it made it a lot more easier for me to know what to do. Giving up was not a solution. And yeah, maybe you don't like telling everyone else your goals because you fear failure, you fear social judgment, you fear all this stuff. I think you're a bitch. If you ask me, I think you're a bitch. Now, I'm not telling you to go to every single person you know and tell them. I'm telling you, your brothers, your people around you need to know that. Because if they know that, you're not gonna give up so easy. You're not gonna, when the first obstacle is up, you're not gonna go down and, hide and be scared. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna try at least to achieve it. It's like a marriage, Marriages, people do marriages because they are publicly. You have like 200 people attending. People know that you made a vow. People know and see you being married, as an example. And that's why you cannot just give up so easily. When there's a conflict or something, you want to make it right. You want to resolve it. Now, of course, this is not like the main thing. People don't stay together just because social pressure. But when you're very angry and when you're very scared, you tend to do shit decisions. And this is a way to protect yourself from that. Now, another thing is with the goal. When I set the goal, it was such a high standard for me to achieve it. And I heard this somewhere, I think it was on a podcast. It said something like this: I would prefer failing at 80% than winning it at 30%, which makes a lot of sense because, yeah, you can set low goals and achieve them, but you can fail at goals when you're at 80% rather than 30%. It's like a big difference. So yeah, even if you fail at some goals, I don't think that's a mistake. I think that's a lesson learned, and that's a step forward. And especially if you share that with your friends, if you set a high goal. For me, as I told you, I set that goal publicly. I told my friends, every meal we had, every chat we had, we were kind of keeping ourselves accountable. Like, how was your last test? How did you handle that? You know, how did you do that? How's class going? You know, how can you improve? And all that stuff. So it's like in a circle where everyone wants to improve, and I'm telling you, that was such a valuable asset for me. Now don't tell me you don't have friends, don't tell me you don't have anyone, right? Because that's a lie. If you don't have friends, it's your fault, it's not anyone else's fault. If you don't have connections, it's your fault. It's up to you to change that. It's up to you to approach people. It's up to you to become a better person. But there's always people. You can even pay for that. If you join my community and become a founding members, first 7 members will get chat accountability from me. You're gonna chat with me and all that stuff. As I told you, I do it with friends, I do it with people in my community, even I do it with like my father, who is like kind of my business partner. So there's always gonna be someone who you can share your goal, who you can show them your ideas and get a feedback from, because it's very hard to get feedback from yourself, because you're gonna tend to see yourself in the right way, you know. But when you get a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion from people outside of your pool, you know, they're kind of motivated, they're not bad person, they're like good persons that you wanna spend your time with. It's gonna be so easier for you to make progress, move forward, and get the 4.0 GPA, because that's why we're here. So we're in the most important part of the video, taking action, guys. And there are 3 action points that I want to share with you. And I want you to take action, because if you watch the video until here, you obviously, you want to change, you want to improve, you want to get that 4.0, god damn it. And the first thing that I want you to do is learn the first thing in the morning, wake up, take a shower, directly to work. Having set, you know, your tasks before, the night before, it's gonna make it a lot easier for you. You're gonna be, you know, opening the laptop and going directly into work mode, learning mode. Second thing I want you to do is to learn the patterns from the professors, learn the, you know, the strategies that they use, what to focus on, and use that. All right, now as I told you, 20% of your actions only give you 80% of your result. To have a 4.0, you're gonna have to go an extra mile, a bit more, but that's gonna be, you're gonna have plenty of time. If you study and don't have distraction, 2-3 hours in the morning, it's gonna be plenty of time to do that. And the last thing, I want you to share your goals publicly with competitive friends, with, you know, people around you that also want to develop, not necessarily their grades, because in my case, you know, I also had friends, but also with my father, who is not in school anymore. But as well, you can share with people who you can trust, people who you know they're capable, and people who drag you forward. Now there's one more thing I want to tell you guys: become a founding members. First 7 members get accountability for me. You have the first friend if you don't have friends, but even if you have friends, it's still a good place to come. Modules, courses on all my strategies and all the things I did, plus some bonus modules, and you're gonna chat with me, accountability there. It's gonna be fun. We may even do calls there, so I think it's gonna be really fun. And as always, guys, win your mornings and conquer your goddamn grades.